I've spent thousands of hours over the last 10 plus years dialing in exactly what is needed to become a high achiever. I've discovered that there are only 7 skills that you truly need to hit $1 million per year. You'll finally be able to connect the dots of what is needed to take your clothing brand to that next level. And after this, you'll never have to go back to Google how to grow a clothing brand. Okay, so number 7, we're gonna go in reverse here, is sales. The lifeblood of your business is sales. If you're a creative person and sales is not your strong suit, you have 2 options to build this business. Number 1, build a brand so good that everyone does the marketing for you. Think like Apple, go after that. Or number 2, the more likely option anyway, you find a co-founder or hire a salesperson who is commission only to close your deal. Now, without sales, the rest of these areas will not matter. I see it all the time where brands have an amazing product. Seriously, some of the coolest products I've ever seen are from people who never sold one shirt, never sold anything. They perfected the product, but forgot that it's much easier to build an audience and sell to them than it is to build a product and try to sell that product. I know that was a lot of product talk, but think about it. You gotta build the audience first. This is not Field of Dreams. Build the audience first and then sell the product. Number 6, know how to build a team. No one wakes up and knows how to build a team, but the easiest way that I've thought through it, and at least for me, it is what areas you do not do well, right, that you're not proficient at, or would you like to have somebody else do for you, right? Maybe you just don't have the time. So those are the 2 areas to kind of outsource. That's the easiest way to start building the actual team. If you want to stay a solopreneur or a single person business owner, that's fine too. I'm not saying it's impossible to hit your goals at all. I'm just saying it will take a little bit more strategy, or a lot more strategy, and a different type of work. Probably a lot more work ethic. But surrounding yourself with smarter people is literally the best life hack out there. If you want to be better at anything, surround yourself with someone who is better at you in that area that goes outside of business. Did you know that just being in the same room as someone who is smarter than you in a specific area will actually make you smarter? Yes, this is an actual plug to make sure that you go into your office every now and again, or consistently, for a good book on this and like to actually build a team. You should check out the book Energy Bus. That would be a really good place to start if you're really trying to build that team. All right, so number 5 is constant education. Our company would not have been here. It would not have been possible without education. So in the early stages of our business, we did 2 things. Number 1 was there was a guy named by the name of James Altucher. Some of you guys maybe know who he is, but he had a theory of creating the idea machine. So every day you would come up with 10 ideas, no matter what. Every day, Christian and I would come up with 10 ideas. Most of them were absolute, like, to lack of a better term, crap. 90% of them were. But it's throughout the week, we had 140 ideas, and then we were able to take 1 or 2 of those and go and execute on them. But what it did do is it helped us come up with a machine in our head, or just really a process in our head to always be coming up with ideas. We are only just one idea away from growing your business. And if you know how to use that theory, to use that tool to your advantage, you can go to that next level. So that was the education that we did every single day. I think it's how we closed the gap in such a competitive time when we knew nothing at all, right? I'm not afraid to say, like, in that period, I was an entrepreneur who knew nothing about that space at all and closed that gap. The other thing is that we used a tool called Blab. So Blab was like a live streaming platform. Think about Zoom, all these other people jumping into the same room and talking about things. We would do Blabs, or these Zoom type video, like conferencing, vlogging, / like conference room conversations every single day, Monday through Friday. We talk about 10 things that we brainstormed every single day and then converse back and forth with people. Those were the early videos of our YouTube channel. I think some of them are still on there, maybe not. Some are unlisted. If you're actually interested in those, just comment below and I'll literally send you like a video. It's probably unlisted of like what this would look like early stage. But my point is, we spent a lot of time, and every single day for 5 days a week, we did take the weekends off for this session, for every day, we came up with 10 things that we learned and we had to talk about and have the knowledge and knowing about, and we did that for months, actually years at this point. And again, I think it helped close that gap. So that education put us farther ahead, where we probably wouldn't have succeeded in the company had we not done something like that. So my point for you is to constantly be educating yourself, and don't just consume the information. The key here, or the part that you need to pay attention to, is that we took action. So the knowledge is one thing, but the knowing is the big piece. So take that knowledge and then go execute it. All right, so number 4 is drive and persistence. You need both of them. There's something to be said for someone who gets punched in the face and then gets up and asks for another, right? So this is the real requirement of entrepreneurship. No one tells you that it will take you literally 7 to 15 years to become an overnight success, or that even after all of that, you probably, statistically, would not have made even more money than if you had just worked for somebody else. And you would have had more freedom. I always tell people all the time, it's like, the best position in any company is one where you have some freedom and that you can get paid well or what you're worth, and then you can go home and turn it off at night, right? So if that's not for you, then continue to watch this video. But if not, right, there's a lot of ways that you can make a lot of money being a number 2 or number 3 at a company, or just really good at your job, and you have the freedom, the flexibility, and none of the stress. It really is a better option. And entrepreneurship, I think, is very glorified right now, which is an issue because everybody thinks that they're going to make, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But to be honest, it's really the only reason why, right? 3% of the world are entrepreneurs, right? 3% of the people actually own a company or business or whatever else. And I believe everyone has or will have some entrepreneurial tendencies, like freelance gigs, etc. But those are here and there, right? It's not day in, day out, tough conversations, big ups and tremendous downs, riding the roller coaster day in and day out, year after year, just hoping to make something happen. But in this game, if you continue to get back up, you will win. You will make it to the other side. Being bullheaded, honestly, like if your wife or your husband or somebody calls you bullheaded, it's honestly probably a good thing in business, because it is needed for the hits that you are going to have to take. And like I said, it's completely okay to not go that route. If you're doing this for societal praise, then it's probably a better option for you to go do something else. Number 3, create your blue ocean. There are 2 types of oceans, red and blue. The blue ocean is a strategy where you compete against no one, right? And so the red ocean is kind of like the blood in the water, right? It's just super competitive. So I'm reading a book right now, and I think it's one that I will continue to read over. And I don't want to, I'm just tell you right now to go get the book, because I may not do this justice, but I'm going to do my absolute best to explain the difference here. So everybody looks at what is my competition doing? What are my competitors doing? They're looking for those things. And so what happens is that you get a group of people who are literally the same. It's like the exact same products, the exact same process, the exact same type of stories or reels or content. And then you're just literally competing with everybody. The blue ocean strategy, he talks about in the book, he's talking about circuses. So there's so many examples, but I think the circus one is helpful for everybody here. So if you were a kid growing up, or maybe your parents growing up, or you just had been, hopefully not living under a rock, the circuses used to be huge. Barnum and Bailey, they used to have Ringling Brothers, all of those were really large. But then what happened is video games were invented, so less kids wanted to go to the circus. Parents were not taking those people. And so the circus industry, everybody looked at each other and were like, okay, let's shrink this down. Let's just keep getting smaller and smaller, but we'll still have a large percentage of our business. It's just going to be a little bit shorter than previous. So an industry was actually shrinking. Insert Cirque du Soleil. What they did was they said, well, what do we like about circuses? Well, we like the tent because of the allure. We like, some of the acts. But let's figure out a different way that we can keep the clowns, so then have more fun with it. But then let's do a different twist, right? So a lot of people are animal activists, and so let's get rid of some of the animals. And a lot of people are you have to pay them to have all of these different spots to go to different parts of the tent. So let's get rid of that. And so what they did is they combined some Shakespearean stuff with some movie theater acting stuff, and then they put together a little bit of the circus and then an entertainment, and they just literally created their own little circle of we're different from everybody. Nobody's seen anything like a Cirque du Soleil. And so they've created their own market, and now they're thriving like crazy because they compete with nobody. It's Cirque du Soleil, and then it's oh, is that the same thing as a circus? No, it's not even close. Oh, it's going to a play? No, it's not like that. Is it going to a movie? No, it's not like that. So it's literally its own category. And when you can do that, you compete with nobody. And now you can dominate a specific area, specific business. And that is what you should be thinking about for your store, right? How can you create a micro niche and dominate that area so you can create your own blue ocean? All like I said, I would highly suggest to go check out the book. All right, so number 2 is to implement Profit First. So we started using Profit First in 2018 and it has been an absolute game changer. So Profit First is literally how it sounds. It is paying yourself first. This is also a reference to a book by Mike Michalowicz. You can go to mikemotorbike.com. This is not a plug for him. I don't get paid or anything, but I think it will truly help your business. So Profit First, you literally put profit as the percentage that's going to come out of your bank account no matter what, and you just push that to the side. And then it goes into like different areas like your owner's pay, your taxes, your operating expenses. And so what you do is you work backwards from that and you say, on day 1, I will become profitable. And so I know that sounds hard to believe, and I know it sounds like, wait, how is that possible? Just go check out the book, or at the bare minimum, read the PDFs of the free stuff that he has online about how this happens. But your goal in business should always be profitable. If you're not in business to make a profit, right, then you just have a really expensive hobby. And so if you can be profitable, guess what? You have leverage in the marketplace to beat everyone else, because most people are not profitable. But if you do this method, it will help change the way that you think about accounting. Also, by the way, your accountants will really have some questions, so you just have to encourage them to check out the book as well. But it is very, very powerful. Every single person I've talked to has been like, look, this is a game changer. It just makes so much more sense, because business should not be X and Y. It should literally be an A and a B. And I'm just saying it's completely different. So check out the Profit First book and implement that into your business. I don't care if you're making $1,000 a month or $100,000 a day. It does not matter. It is very possible to implement. All right, so number 1 is to seek wise counsel. So we hired coaches back in 2018, late 2018, early 2019. And honestly, in the beginning, I didn't think it was worth it. But after 6 months, we started to put things together that wouldn't have happened without the insight and wisdom from our coaches. They helped us see that our blind spots and figure out where to guide us towards a path that was helping us towards our goals. Our OSO program, like the Optimized Store Owner program, this is for clothing store owners, would not be the same without them. And look, if you are a clothing store owner and want the insight into your business, you can schedule a 45-minute strategy session. Think of it as your coaching session for free. The spots are absolutely limited because we're literally just people. We don't have unlimited spots to chat with people. But if you want access to that and get your own 45-minute coaching session, strategy session, just check out the link in the description down below. My hope is that during that call, though, you'll be able to walk away with some insight into your blind spots, because we all have them. Every single person, I promise you, you have a blind spot. If you don't think that you do, that means that you do, right? You do have a blind spot. And if you are a clothing store owner who liked this type of video, then you need to go watch this video next on the habits of highly successful clothing store owners, so that you can implement them to grow your business. All right, y'all, you have a great rest of your day. And P.S., make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We drop new content for you every single week.